Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cassie Johnson and I am a full-time Etsy coach and Etsy seller. I started my shop back in 2020 after losing my job, and in just 2 years have been able to sell over $550,000 in revenue on Etsy. And my goal with this channel is to teach you how to do the exact same thing. I have lots of videos on my channel teaching you how to get started selling print on demand in Etsy and how to make more sales. But if you're anything like me, then this is your very first time starting your own business. Especially in the beginning, there's so many things to learn about and worry about, and learning how to run your own books and track your own expenses can be one of the most intimidating parts of it all. But tracking your revenue, expenses, and profit can really show you if you're on the right track, if you need to raise your prices, and tell you what you actually get to take home after all your sales on Etsy. I think revenue amounts are great, but if you sold $100,000 in t-shirts last year and only made $5,000 profit, then there's definitely a problem there. So if you track your expenses monthly instead, then you can see when you start to have pricing problems and fix it accordingly. I made a previous video that I'll link down in the description telling you all about how taxes and print on demand work, because none of your sales have the taxes you need to pay taken out of them for you. So you do need to stash away money every month or every quarter to go ahead and pay the taxes at the end of the year or quarterly, depending on your situation. But if you don't track your expenses and your profits throughout the year, then it's going to make tax time even more stressful. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I track my income and expenses and see how much profit I'm making each and every month, and I'll show you the document that I use to do that. You can make something like this document for yourself, or you can purchase the one that I'm going to show you here, and there will be a link down in the description with that available. So here is a blank version of my income and expense report here on Google Sheets. So if you go ahead and actually download my version for $20, what you'd have to start with is go to File and go to Make a Copy. And once you make a copy, I would rename it your income and expense report for 2022 and go ahead and save that as a copy. And then I'd make an additional copy that is just a blank income and expense report. That way you have a blank one to copy for 2023 and beyond, and just keep one blank copy. That way you don't have to delete all your information and you can just save your documents, one for each and every year. So looking here, the first one I have is the dashboard. So once you've filled out your income and your expenses, then it would show you a bar graph here, some pie charts, and your totals for the year. It also has a profit calculator. So if you're selling a t-shirt for $24.99 and your cost from Printify is say $12.87, like I believe it is for Monster Digital, it will calculate the Etsy fees for you and tell you that your total profit would be $9.30 if you sell a shirt for $24.99 and the cost is $12.87. You could also go ahead and edit right here to change the amount of offsite ads. If you'd like to see if you have a 12% offsite ads fee, then it will tell you now you're only making $6.30 instead, but typically you aren't going to be having the offsite ads on every sale. So this is a great thing to use when you're trying to figure out how to price your actual items. And if the transaction fee ever changes again, the 6.5% that it is for Etsy now, you could just go ahead and edit that to the new amount super quick and easy. I also have a pricing calculator, so this is kind of more of a running total of the document from the last one. So you can save things like your Bella and Canvas 3001, say it's $25, put the cost for shipping and the item, and then it will show you your total profit and profit margin. And then you can put the Gildan 18,000, what you'd like to sell it on, and then again see your actual total profit and profit margin. So you can use this for every single one of the items items that you sell. And so this is a really great thing to have, especially as inflation happens and the cost of your items change. If the price of the t-shirt, say on Printify or Printful, goes up, you just go ahead and edit this here, and now you can see how much your profit will be total for the item, and you can adjust your prices on Etsy accordingly. So on to the part where we actually track your expenses. It does have a year-to-date summary where you can see each and every month, and then these do link to the actual months that you are working on. So for January, you'd put in how many total sales you got in revenue, how many quantity of sales that you got, you'd put in what your Etsy fees are, advertising, and so on, and it will tell you what your total profit per sale is and your total profit in general. Just to show you how this works, you'd go over to your Finances tab on Etsy and you'd click your monthly statements. Select the month that you're looking at. So in this one in particular, I'm looking at the month of May, which is last month if you're watching this in June of 2022 when I release it. And you would take your total amount of sales. So for May, I sold $15,312.37. And you'd go ahead and enter that into the line here for the total sales. Then you'd also enter in how much you paid in Etsy fees. So in this case, I paid $1,896.22 for the Etsy fees in May of 2022. And you'd go ahead and add that in here. Then you'd go back and add any advertising fees that you had. So last month I spent $127.45 on ads. This can be different things like offsite ads are included in this as well. You don't need to include the negative because it will figure that out for you. Then you would need to actually figure out how much money you spent with Printful or with Printify. To find how much you spent on Printify each month, you click the green circle in the corner, go down to My Payments, and then you go to your invoices, and then this number here you'll see is for May 1st to May 31st, 2022. So this is the amount that you spent on Printify in a month. So we'll go ahead and add that to the same document. And then you'd also have to see how much you actually paid for the different things that you have in your store. So if you bought any mock-ups, if you paid for any design software like Canva, then you would also add those into your miscellaneous expenses or your design software box right here, and it will calculate this all for you. So once you enter in all of your expenses, it will show your total profit here, which without any other expenses, my total profit for the month of May was $4,508.21. And then you can change the amount of sales you have total. So let's say you sold 400 items this month, then my profit per sale would have been $11.27 per item. I also have a spot here if you have any other incomes like a YouTube channel, a mock-up store, any other businesses, or if you just want to put your total amount you made from your job, you could add those in here, and then they will all actually total up in the year-to-date totals. So here you can see $4,500 for May, and you can add this all in here. If there's any other monthly costs you'd want to include of something that you get charged for every single month, you could put them on this line here. So let's say you pay $10 per month for a design software service and you just want to include it here, then it would just be included, and you can see it here on the year-to-date total. The fixed monthly cost, $10, and then times that by 12 months, $120, and it will update your total profit total for the year. So I just leave this document open all of the time, and you can go ahead and pin it to your taskbar. That way this is always open and ready for you to edit. Like I said, I figure out my total profit for the month on the 1st of every month. And then as you're purchasing things, like if you pay for Creative Fabrica or you buy a new mock-up or something, you would just go ahead and add here and say, mock-up, and you'd say, okay, I spent $10 this month on mock-ups, and then that will update the totals for you. So if you slowly track things as you purchase them and add them to this document, then that'll make it so much easier to file your taxes at the end of the year, because you already have all this information, everything you purchased for the year, and then you only pay taxes on your actual total profit that you made. And so you definitely want to track these. Again, I will link down below my taxes video if you missed it. That goes over what you can write off, what you can't, how you pay taxes, how much I paid in taxes my first year selling on print on demand. So it's definitely a really good video to make sure you understand how the taxes work with print on demand. And then this document is for sale for $20. And again, the link is in the description. You definitely don't have to use the document that I made, but I would recommend tracking your income and your expenses every single month, so that way you know what's going on with your business. I know I've heard of some people getting through an entire year and not even knowing how much profit they made, and then when they actually break it down, they make $2 profit per sale, which if you had just raised your prices and known that you were pricing it so low, you could have made so much more money throughout the year. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, I am still answering all of the questions down in my comments. And I do have my shop reviews and one-on-one coaching calls available still as well. Thank you so much for staying all the way until the end, and you have a great rest of your day.